Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of the Six Nations, the second game of round 3 in this one. Wales taking on Scotland. Now, the most recent game that we witnessed, it was Ireland versus England. The game didn't quite go to plan, but it was a massive win for the Irish in that contest. Now looking to see whether or not another underdog in the Welsh can get the job done here up against a valiant Scotland team. We had a great win in just last week. Looking at the table, and it is fully heating up, but someone is leading the bunch at the moment. That is the French, sitting 2 wins from 2. The only side that can theoretically be undefeated and get the Grand Slam in this competition. Ireland move into second. Scotland, they currently have the 6 points after that big win over the English last week. England sitting on 5. Italy also on the 5 points. And then the Welsh, 2 games played, minus 83 points differential. They need a big game here at the Principality, and if they can do it and they can somehow win, it would make the table even that much more intriguing heading into the later stages. But looking through at the starting lineup, starting with the front row of the Welsh, it is Rhys Curry as the number 1, Dewey Lake the captain at 2, and Thomas Francis slots in at 3, Duff Jenkins and Ben Carter as the locking duo, with Tame Plumtree at 6, Alex Mann at 7, and Aaron Wainwright, well, he is then the number 8. So a bit of a reshuffle. I am a little bit surprised, I'll be honest. I actually thought that they didn't go too bad with the loose forward trio that they had last week up against the French, or at least in the earlier stages of the contest. It seemed relatively strong, but making a few switches here and there, including in this back line where we see that new number 10 option for the Welsh here. It is going to be Thomas Williams keeping his spot at 9, but Sam Costello goes in at 10. Josh Adams out on the left wing. In the midfield, it is Joe Hawkins and Eddie James. Gabriel Hammer-Webb goes out on the right, and Lewis Rees-Zammit keeps his spot as the number 15. For the starting lineup of the Scottish, they have also made quite a few changes. Nathan McBeath goes into the number 1 rather than Piers Skurman, who will make his way off the bench. Dave Cherry at 2, and Xander Fagerson slots in as the number 3. Max Williamson at 4, with Scott Cummings at 5. So again, a bit of a switch there for the Scottish once more. Gregor Brown, Rory Darge, and Matt Fagerson as a loose forward trio. Ben White and Finn Russell keep their spots as the 9 and 10. Duan Whanamurva comes in for his first game of the Six Nations at 11. Sione Tuipulotu and Hugh Jones remain the midfield duo. And then Kyle Steyn with Blair Kinghorn slotting in as the number 15. We have got the hi everybody from Bruce, and come on Scotland in there. Fleshin is going for the Welsh, so it seems split at the moment. Of course, if you haven't already, be sure to vote in that poll for who you think will win this game. Currently 82% back in Scotland to be able to get the victory here. The 12% going for the Welsh. We have good there, Hamish. What time do the Italians beat the French? So that game of the Six Nations taking place tomorrow at 4 a.m. New Zealand time, or actually it's 4:10 a.m. I believe. So we've still got about 23 hours or somewhere around there till that match does take place. This game at the Principality, it looks like a phenomenal crowd. It's been built up as potentially a very close fixture between these two sides, but of course it is very hard to judge, definitely after what we just saw between Ireland and the English. Makes this one very unpredictable. Ireland play France in 4 hours at the under-20s, says I am nutty. We'll look here at the previous fixtures for the two sides. For the Welsh, 48 points to 7. The first game up against England, not the start of the Six Nations that they would have been after. Then from there, I'll be honest, that scoreline up against the French, I think that Wales played better than a side that scored just 12. They had some really strong moments. Also, I do think that they stayed competitive with France up to a certain stage. Then we saw Adam Baird go for that kick. It completely shifted the momentum of the whole game, and France then continued to run away with it. And at that second half, in terms of the Scottish, they had that close game up against the Italians in round number 1. Had they not lost that game, the Six Nations Championship maybe could have still been on the line for the Scottish team. And beating England with the bonus point, 31 points to 20, a massive win for Scotland most recently. We're good there. Let's go Scotland, says Yaniv. And also Wales fly those dragons, says Trevor. Wales doesn't have the team to be strong at home. It'll be a miracle, says Gerhard. Yeah, they are considered as the second biggest underdogs of the round. Of course, the biggest underdog goes to Italy with their game taking place in France. They aren't given a huge chance in that matchup, but would still like to show what they can do in the game tomorrow. And these two sides, we are going to have the national anthems. We're about 5 minutes away from the kickoff, maybe a little bit later. That one to be taking place, but the Principality, they have got the stadium roof on, so even if it is raining outside, it does not matter. Finn Russell has to control this game like he did last week up against the English. And this is a big game for Scotland, because if they can get themselves another big win here, steps in that little bit closer to top 3. We have got there, Pollock looked good in his contributions, but we're England missing things other players might have brought. Says Powerboy, I don't think that the game at all can be just blamed on Henry Pollock, which I bet you is the narrative that's already been written on social media. I already saw a headline saying pretty much Pollock disappoints and costs England. But, like, the thing is, I think that you've got to look at that 10 in the game. George Ford, I mentioned about it at the time. England wanted to play an attacking game with a defensive 10 in that scenario. It just seemed like they were opting to go for the kicks too often. We saw so many times Ireland were willing to take on a risk and most of the times reap the reward, whereas England didn't really do that a huge amount. But similar to what we saw from the Highlanders in their game up against the Chiefs in Super Rugby, how they just didn't quite seem like they were, I guess, willing enough to be... Well, the thing is, I was going to say willing enough to be susceptible to a counter-attack, but they literally were all the time in that game without bringing the attack of their own too often. It's a day of emotion for Wales, says Sam. We French, don't forget the alliance. We support you even. It will be hard for us in Murrayfield if you win this one, says Chris Ace. Currently, the Scottish national anthem being sung a cappella inside of the Principality with the trumpets by the sounds of it. It might be actually the whole pipe band by the sounds of it. I can hear a bass drum in there too. Zach, the England coach, Steve Borthwick says, Bruce, tell you what, if every coach got sacked after they lost, I don't think we'd have many international coaches around the place. You know, it wasn't too long ago that Farrell was getting called to be sacked. We've seen Townsend, he's been called to be sacked. Seen the Welsh coach, he's been called to be sacked. I think the only coach that hasn't been called to be sacked lately is probably Fabien Galtier when it comes to the Six Nations sides, and also the Italian coach. Welsh national anthem is the best ever, says Powerbite 92. And to be fair to them, it seemed to fire them up for the early stages of the contest up against the French, with the exception of that really quick-fire try that France were able to get for themselves. And come on, Wales, this is where you shine, lads. Says David there too. But anyone who hasn't already, be sure to let me know your score predictions. A couple of exciting options off the bench for both of these sides. We see the return of Blair Murray in their number 23 jersey. Matching with him is Darcy Graham. So those two, I would say one of them's going to score. Haven't decided who yet, but one of them will. Probably Graham, to be fair, seeing as they are the favourites. And great for a rugby funeral, says I am nutty. I think the whole world would celebrate if Wales get a win, says Seller. And once again, it just comes down to how quickly the underdog story does reign supreme, it seems. Because we've got to remember, last week, Scotland were the team being supported by pretty much everyone in the Six Nations because everyone wanted to see them beat England. And now they find themselves only 7 days later as a side that now people are saying, we don't want to see Scotland do well. We want to see a Wales underdog victory. So... you know, it must get confusing at times knowing who's supposed to be supporting who in a Six Nations comp, because each and every week there's a new side that are supposed to win. And Scotland 48, Wales not. Oh, that's brutal, isn't it? 9, so meaning they only take 3-pointers in this game. Wales need it, says Samuel. But looking throughout that starting lineup, few changes made for the Welsh, including that 10 jersey and Sam Costello. Also, a bit of a reshuffle in the loose forward trio. People always look at Tame Plumtree as a little bit of a risky man to keep an eye on because he loves a card. I'm Scottish and I'm telling you this match is a very dicey one for us, says Power White. And Sione Tuipulotu said it after the match last week. He said, we can't underestimate Wales because we don't have a great record at the Principality. And I think that this is one of those games that they know that they have to get it right. There's no coal left in Welsh Rugby, says I'm Nutty and Happy Irishman here, says Sean O'Farrell. So I'll ask you the question, Sean, because I did ask it near the end of the last live stream, and I got told that Ireland would rather watch France win the Six Nations than support England to beat France in the last game. Is that true? Because they pretty much said that Ireland would rather lose the Six Nations than have England win up against the French, which seemed a bit drastic. I know you're going for Wales, boyo, says David. I wouldn't guarantee that. I think I'm going for whoever plays the better rugby. Now, Scotland looked very solid in their game last week up against England. Wales had some great moments up against the French, just nowhere near enough of them to take down our French side in some incredible form. But I actually quite like the changes that both sides have made in this matchup. True Hamish, I said I support Scotland, but would be happy if Wales win, if that makes sense, says Chris. I'm so disappointed in England, says Big Rig Joe, and Scotland for the win. Scotland on a high, says Martin there too. And at the Principality Stadium, the last win for the Welsh at this stadium was up against Japan last year. Their winning streak just to lose back-to-back against Scotland and Ireland, and games that aren't even close, says Big Rig. Yeah, but once again, I think England will be back. Everyone's saying it's the end of the whole world now that England have lost a couple games, but like, who hasn't lost a game in the last 12 months? No one. Everyone's lost one. At least one. And what is the story? We're the best team in the world, aka England, but seriously, what is wrong? Says Roger. I think, they've just had a couple off games. They'll be back. Like, they're not all of a sudden going to disappear off the face of the rugby earth. Like, I know a lot of people seem to be hoping. Like, they'll probably come out next game of the Six Nations and absolutely, demolish. You just don't know. That's the beauty of rugby, once again. It's unpredictable, and that's why so many people, at least I think, love it, but some people seem to love hating teams rather than enjoy watching the games themselves. 30 seconds at the moment, the way that this game sits. Could go either way. Wales are underdogs. They've got that spirit, and in front of the home crowd, it's only a matter of time before they gel and get it right. Hitting it up 40 metres out for the line. Thomas Williams goes back across to Aaron Wainwright. Looking for the steal on the breakdown was Gregor Brown. Back to the left again. Now big fin from Lewis Rees-Zammit, dragged down by Kyle Stain. Good face play early on here, though, from the Welsh Tame Plumtree. Fends off one, dragged down by Fagerson. And in fact, both Fagersons, Matt and Xander, in that case. Now backline here for Wales. Wide cut out pass. Josh Adams goes to Joe Hawkins right next to the sideline. And win some, lose some. It feels like they are regressing, says Big Rig. And also we got there as well, England declare began when we beat them 51 or 53-10. Twickenham 2 years ago, says Chris. Another step. So then 15 metres out. This looks like an injury already. I think that's Sam Costello down. Yeah, it is. Penalty goes the way of Scotland, though, on the breakdown, but I think they may have to replace their 10 already. We have got there, as long as I've been watching your commentary, you've always been fair and non-biased with your commentary, says Zero. And yeah, that's probably why I don't understand the hate towards certain sides, because I watch games from the middle, so I don't mind who wins as long as it's like the team who's played the better rugby. I'm happy if they're the victors. But I get when you've got a ball in the court and you have that alliance to a team, it probably is hard to not fall into hating other sides, even though hate's a strong word, of course. And England has too many top-class players, Paul coaching mate, says Samuel, who uses mate a lot, who loves a bit of England coaching. Eddie Jones, mate. When Welsh and Aussie ruggers goes well again, we shall see another elevation of global rugby along with the Americas, fringe European nations, and Japan. Hello, Hamish says SoCal, welcome in. The best thing for Wales to do is to put the systems in place for 2027, build momentum, be the 2027 surprise team. And the interesting part is, most top teams inside of the top, I'd say 15 sides, top 15 should all go through to the round of 16s. At least that's the way it seems. Of course, upsets can happen, as we have seen. Right, Blair Murray's already out there on the field for Hamer Webb. So it's not even Costello, who was down with a bit of an injury, who will be going off. Hamer Webb's nose is busted open. It is as red as his shirt. So he will have to go off, get a bit of cotton bud stuffed up there, and he'll be back soon. It's hard when you're not a Bots fan, says Ruby. Now we have got there, I don't hate any team, says Big Rig. And also, yeah, we did get hello from SoCal. Do let me know, of course, anyone who hasn't already, who you think will win this game. Currently, it is 0-0, which is a much better start than we actually saw last week in terms of the pace that we saw the early try scored for the French. Now, rolling maul here for Scotland. Moving nicely, being told to use it by Matthew Carley, Ben White. On Sione Tuipulotu's hands, Finn Russell, nice quick backline movement, snappy from the Scots. That's a Duan Fundamerva, his first carry of the contest. First carry of the whole Six Nations as well. He has been left out a couple of times so far. Dave Cherry getting some starting minutes in this game too. Matt Fagerson running it forward. No Jack Dempsey. The lineup for this game. That's a forward pass from Russell. Picked up now. Oh, penalty awarded to Scotland. It was a forward pass though a knock on from Scotland. So should have actually been a Welsh scrum. A best entertainment game's ever seen. It's Wales and the All Blacks hands down, says David. And looking for a more polished game from the Scottish team after a good win against England. I don't think it's cool to hate on other teams. I can't stand people like that. Also, I can't stand the Irish. But I guess that's different. You don't hate the Irish, you just can't stand them. I guess it's slightly less, isn't it? Scotland is currently on their longest winning streak against Wales in Six Nations era. They have beaten them on 3 consecutive occasions. That's really not that long of a streak, though, when you think about it. 3 matches, but it is the longest in the 2-team Six Nations history. Thrown over the top, taken by Gregor Brown again. I hate England. I celebrate their lose every time. Says given. Now going across to Matt Fagerson. Ben White. Out to Dave Cherry. We're going to get those phases going early. Scotland here. Finn Russell, directional switch here. Going short side. Hugh Jones. He's driven into touch. And it's great defence from Josh Adams. Oh, it looks like another player's down here. It looks like Scotland's winger, Duan Fundamerva. A little bit slow getting back up to his feet. High tackle, says South Kid. Going to see it from Gregor Brown, though. Oh, that is head on head with Joe Hawkins. I think Hawkins is going to be in trouble here. The Welsh, they are known for being their own worst enemy. And I think we're going to see that yet again now. Was it Hawkins or James last week who got the yellow card up against the French? It's one of the two in the midfield, wasn't it? I'm going to have a quick look here. Okay, they're checking to see if there's foul play. Wales up for it, and geez Louise. It's a bad collision. There is no denying that. Wales, last week, facts only. Well, they don't actually have the yellow cards on the app that I use. They normally do. Fair contact. Okay, so it's going to be a yellow card now for Wales, so they will be down to 14 out there on the park. Yellow card, off-field review for Joe Hawkins. Can't spell Wales. Says Colin. To be fair, it may have auto-corrected, depending on how it was spelled initially. That's going to be high. Okay, I think they were just asking their Wales whether or not it was going to be upgraded, and Matthew Carley has said that it's not up to them yet. The bunker will decide. Again, says David. Right, Finn Russell. This looks like... Oh, okay. Early decision here from Scotland is to kick for the corner. The man advantage as well. Just get that feeling like they're going to try and get something going here. They played like Beach Wales, so it's not far off. Says Ruby. Now 10 metres from the line. Dave Cherry. 3 penalties already against the Welsh. I think it's almost the first yawn that I can think of anyway in the recent times. Now Dave Cherry. That one has collapsed, so won't be able to use that one too efficiently, but gets it away to Ben White. Now, nice ball. Kyle Stain charging for the try line. That looked a bit high. I think it caught him on the shoulder. It looks like it is going to be play on just for now. Ben White went for the wide cut-out pass. It's taken by Josh Adams. And Wales managed to get that possession back. And hello all, says Daryl, welcome in. So is it 6 yellows for Wales so far? As in, like, in the whole Six Nations competition. I know they've got one this game, and they had 2 or 3 in the last match, didn't they? Williams, just out from his own goal line, does kick that one downfield, finds touch with Finn Russell, who decides against the quick throw. Have a swig of vodka, water, says Ruby. And fire up Wales, let's do this, lads. There's the start of Flowero, Scotland up for this, says Colin there. Yeah, Ben White went for that wide cutout pass to Duan Funamurva initially. Oh, and you could see it early that he was frustrated. The fact that the pass didn't quite go to hand. Still here for Scotland ball. And their grasp, that one slapped away by Wales. So a great line-out steal there from the underdogs once more. Going away to the left-hand side. Looking for the skip pass. Josh Adams. Tackle low again. Now Aaron Wainwright round the side. Come on, Wales, says Jerome. Wales got to start importing New Zealand Welsh kids. The Scots and the Irish have done it, says Megan. Now quick tap taken by the Welsh after getting themselves the penalty. Thomas Williams cuts around Dave Cherry. Moving right. This is huge space opening up in the middle of the field for Eddie James. Oh, that's a huge collision with Russell. Oh, almost a knock on there from Dowie Lake, but managed just to regather it for the skipper from Wales. Now back line. Back again, Sam Costello goes with a wide cutout pass to Wainwright. Finds the hands now. The quick step into Blair Murray out wide for Hamer Webb, who went off the field. Now Reece Curry sitting 10 metres out. Back to the right now. Reece Curry was actually one of the 2 try scorers. Oh, that was high from Scotland. I think that Gregor Brown caught him high. In fact, no, it would have been Max Williamson, but it looks like play on just for now. Now Josh Adams. Cutting inwards, Darge looking for the steal. Phase play, working well here for Wales. 7 phases in a row. Now Williams to Wainwright. Mister from Ben White. Now Carter. Adam Beardy's been taken out of the side in terms of that starting lineup and actually off the bench as well. So obviously got in the bad books for that grubber last week. Now the ball pops out the side for Scotland, but it is offside. I bet you my Western Rice patch, the first points wins the game today. It's a bold call, Martin, because I think Wales may opt for 3 here, or at least have a crack at being able to go the line. One does not stop yawning, or doesn't make you sleep. And also hope Francis is okay. Damn, that looks sore. He got hit really high, and they seem to have cleared it all. It would be good if Wales can at least get some confidence out of this game, even if they end up losing in the end. Says Ruby. 9 minutes in the Welsh. They've gone aggressive. Quick tap taken by Dowie Lake. 2 metres short. Thomas Williams firing at left. Reece Curry. He's over the line again, the big prop. He scores them. 2 games in a row up against France and Scotland. What a start in this game for the Welsh, who are down a man as well on the score sheet, or on the team sheet, I should say. It'll be good if Wales can at least, I read that one, and Wales Gunners do this, says David. So the prediction of the first try is going to be the team that wins, so that would be Wales in that case. But Reece Curry, he's going to have to start not paying so much to score tries. For him to score the first try in this contest was about, I think, $61 to the dollar. So massive odds, but once again, didn't take them because I have like 50 cents in my TAB account just so that I can continue watching things through it, like the T20 World Cup. Scotland all the way, says Joshua, and come on Wales, says Cape Tonian. And upset Saturday, says Samuel. And nice, says David and Ruby there too. 10 minutes in, 7-0 for Wales. It's quite the start to the contest. To kick this one off here for Finn Russell. Does fire it up high. Comes down for Duff Jenkins. It's Sunday, says Meg. It depends on where you are in the world. Saturday for some, Sunday for others. Ferocious attack and come on Scotland, says Hardman. And also we have got there, what a freaky day, says Roof. Now the ball's in the hands of Scotland, though. They will look to fire back and still with that man advantage here. Right. Tame Plumtree off the field with an injury. He won't be back in this game. So already we're seeing 2 changes have to be made by the Welsh. All Reece Curry looking for the steal and the breakdown. Does a backwards roly-poly. Cherry goes to Russell. Through their hands has gone backwards. Blair Kinghorn. Forgot he was in the starting side for Scotland. I think that's the first time that he's touched it. Damn it, just stepped out quick. And what happened? 7-0. So it was a great try from Reece Curry, the number 1 for the Welsh. But yellow card at the moment for Wales too. So playing with a disadvantage in terms of numbers, but are still leading in this case. Now Finn Russell passes across there to Kyle Steyn. And watching from Kenya, says Joshua. Yeah, we have got more Kenyan 7s coming up in the near future. I think next month when they're going to be playing. Sione Tuipulotu hit with the driving tackle. Blair Kinghorn cuts back in, or he's taken down by Alex Mann. Now Brown, good phases here again from Scotland up to 10. Back across Russell. Oh, that's a lot of space for Hugh Jones. Passed on the outside to Kyle Steyn. The one Fundermerva trying to get out of his way. Big driving 2-leg tackle from Duff Jenkins. 10 metres out. Scotland still on the attack. Ooh, thought about the short side option there for Ben White, but instead goes right just for now. Welsh Dragon Hysterics says power bite. We're having to England and Wales this week. Says Mohaddin, you have to be tired. I am definitely feeling the tiredness. Oh, looking for the steal there in the breakdown. And Wales have managed to get it back. Yeah, currently it is 6 a.m, so I've been up for almost 24 hours. Good evening, Hamish. Once again, thanks for the commentary today. Says Josh, no worries at all. We are also into about our 11th hour. Oh, no, not quite. I think we've got slightly less than that. I think we're only up to about the 10th hour. Oh, okay, time is off. This is going to be for the card. Are they going to give it as a red? I hope they don't. It would slightly ruin this game. We're about to find out. What does the TMO decide? It will remain as a yellow card. That's good news. That's the last thing that you want early on in this game is to have it upgraded to the red. And come on, Scotland, says Joe. And Kyle Steyn is a South African, says Martin. And also why England playing junk this week. Yeah, they really did struggle at Twickenham. Seemed like there was a bit of almost an indecisiveness about the way that they were playing. And almost maybe a bit too defensive too, I would say. Dave Cherry now throws it into the front to Matt Fagerson. And England play junk every week. Says Colin, and thanks for the amazing commentary, Hamish. Hope you got a bite in the break. I just powered through pretty much. I didn't have too much time, but I wanted to get that table up so that I could show it all. This is a nice backline here for Scotland. Blair Kinghorn. One more pass out to Kyle Steyn, who does score now. And Scotland fire back with one of their own. But yeah, during that break, I pretty much got this ready so that you guys could see exactly how the table sits as a whole. But Townsend, he'll be happy with that one. Apparently, of course, for Scotland, as well as for Wales, there are potential, well, I'd say Wales won't jump. But Scotland certainly can. They can find themselves actually in first place in this game. And they managed to get a bonus point victory. Let me a tricky kick out near the sideline, though, for the Scots. And they keep flying high, Wales. Bro, it's Kyle, not Carl. Wait, it's Kyle, not Carl. As in, like, me saying it. I'm pretty sure I said Kyle, did I not? Unless you're talking about someone. No, he's got Kyle Steyn in the chat, and we got Kyle on the board as well for Kyle Steyn. You might have just misheard the Kiwi accent, potentially. And we have got there, so how come South Africa got a rare card against France? Inconsistencies. I think you think Nanaba could be a good coach for New Zealand. I don't know if he fit the mould of what New Zealand rugby are looking for, though. And I'm watching Ireland smash in England anyway. How are you, Hamish and all? I must say, Henry Pollock say humble way. Says LJ, yeah, he's going to be a player who has a lot about that game. But it's kind of good for England because it will take a bit of the weight off them because everyone's just looking at Pollock. And Allgood in there. Now Matt Fagerson running it forward. Now told to use it. Ben White from inside of the 22. I'm going to kick this one into touch and does so. Fun fact, Kyle Staines' dad was ever going to hit a security for the All Blacks during the 1995 World Cup. There's power by. I did not know that. Back out there on the field now for Joe Hawkins. He has served his 10 minutes in the bin. We'll have to make sure that they don't end up conceding any more big penalties like that, though. Wales first, says Ruth. Taken round the halfway line. And the rolling maul for Wales does make a few extra metres here. And an over means nothing without Russie, says Martin. And it's going to be another shocker, says Ruth. Hopefully it is back and forth, and it looks like it will be. Hamer Webb. Now it gets driven sideways, and the tackle attempt from Hugh Jones. And Thomas Williams. Back across to Costello. Howie Lake. Down again, taken back into their own half here for Sam Costello. Looks for the 50-22. It won't be one, though, of course, because it was taken back. He gets the high five from his teammate. I don't think he realises, oh no, everyone's high-fiving him. They think that it's going to be a 50-22, but little do they know it's only in Super Rugby that you're allowed to take that ball back. Yeah, so they're all celebrating, they're high-fiving everyone, but it is Scotland's line out. And Scotland's still warming up, says Barbrick. Now they're going to say Susie was his girlfriend. And if it's okay with you, I'd rather not, says Cape Tonian. And for come on, people, get behind Henry. Dave Cherry with the line out. Wales have already stolen one line out in this contest. Looking to do it again, although going to the back there. Smart play from Scotland. It was uncontested by Wales. 17 minutes already passing in this game. Ben White going off to the left-hand side. Another carry from Nathan Macbeth. And towards the sideline. And Ben White, once again, with a decent exit. Wales are possibly putting on a little bit more pressure than Scotland. Well, to be fair, Scotland were anticipating it. Maybe a bit more pressure than some fans were expecting from this Welsh side. But Sione Tuipulotu, like I mentioned in the build-up for this match, he said that they cannot underestimate this Welsh team. Almost time for us to break our fast. 7:36. Says Mahadeen, and please hit like and subscribe. Help the Kiwi Lads grow the channel, says Joss. Yeah, anyone who is new, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thomas Williams now going off to the right-hand side. Dowie Lake sits down the defence of Scotland. Almost a little knock on the ground. It is still there and available. I will mention once more, James Botham. He's out there on the field due to the early injury of Tame Plumtree. So losing the player right from the get-go, Eddie James. Tries again round the side of this breakdown. Just a slow build-up. Yeah, Alex Mann now Botham plays half, gets it away to the left. 7 metres out now for Wales. And once again, they bring themselves back towards 10 phases. So not dropping that ball too often. Throughout the early stages of this game, Wainwright stopped in his tracks. Now Reece Kari looks for the risky offload, but it works out. Couple extra metres for the Welsh. Thomas Williams goes away to the left-hand side. Costello, great hands. Josh Adams scores out wide, and Wales get themselves their second. And please get a rest. I'll pray for you to go on strength to strength, says Mahadeen. We will be resting after this game, but then we will be getting up early-ish tomorrow because there is another game taking place in the afternoon. It will be Brumbies versus Crusaders for that game. So I am going to be covering that one on the channel as well. We see there Dowie Lake just bumping off the defence of Nathan Macbeth initially, and then just some good hands from Kari, who's fast becoming one of the more skillful-looking props around the world. And good to hear Wales putting up a fight, says Barbrick. And up the Satyrs. And eat a strong coffee. Ooh, almost able to slap that one away was Kyle Stain. And somebody put the Six Nations on a spin cycle this weekend. And come on, Scotland, says Martin. And yes, that's Wales, keep it up. And the kick has gone over from Costello as well. Making the score now 14 points to 5 in favour of Wales. Scotland still want a hangover after the England game, says South Kid. Curious to know what the odds sit at now. It's suspended at the moment because Scotland coming into this game, like Wales were a $7.50 underdog. Ireland in their game up against England were a $5 underdog. So the underdogs are all performing. A little bit of pressure on Italy to be able to get something going tomorrow as well. Wales 22-14, Scotland was my prediction. That may be the score at the end of the first half, or roughly that, if they keep going the way they are. Wales doing well. I don't mind being behind, says Barbrick. I see you need to get some rest before the next game, says Roof. But yeah, I will be able to squeeze in a few hours. Thomas Williams inside of his 22, all partially charged down by Scotland, comes off the hands and bounces into touch. Welsh Dragon beginning to spread its wings, says Power Bite. And once again, Wales are a team that if you let them believe that they can win a game, and not many sides have done it recently, but if they think that they've got a chance, they sometimes find that next gear. And currently this Welsh team, they are more than up for this challenge up against Scotland. Now back across, Darby Lake, 25 metres out from the line for Wainwright, almost got held up. Referee rules it as backwards there. Northern Hemisphere Rugby so unpredictable at the moment. We'll eat my hat if Wales win. Great for World Rugby, says Roger. We have Dwarves to counter your Dragons, says Barbrick. As down for the under-20s game, says I'm nutty. I will not be. I'll be sleeping during that match. Now Blair King on goes back across to the left-hand side. Sione Tui Palotu. Who's up to the halfway line. Ben White back across to Xander Fagerson. That's a cleaner start from Wales I've seen in a long time, and it may just get a little bit cleaner for them. Ball in the hands of Adams. To Williams. Inside of their own half at the moment. He goes for the little chip in behind. Bounce wasn't quite favourable. And I think it's a knock-on from Scotland here. Okay, so they are going to be going back for the initial advantage that they did have. And we are, or where are you, Wales are ahead, bud? Says Ruth. I would say that he's probably very stressed at the moment, Fleshin. What we've seen at this point. I think Lewis Rees-Zammit regrets leaving for NFL attempt. I respect his choice. Lost his good rugger momentum. I don't think he'd have any regrets for it whatsoever. Like the fact that he can walk back into a Welsh team and the fact that he's now probably on a better contract playing for the Bristol Bears than he was before going to the NFL. Like, I think he'd be more than happy. And like he said, it was a dream of his since he was a child, so he's accomplished that. He got the chance. But yeah, I don't think he would have regretted any of it. In fact, it's probably actually benefited his career that little bit more as well in terms of money-wise. And they had Scottish accents in Lord of the Rings, says Barbrick. Now, that's a penalty. Oh no, in fact, sorry, forward pass against the Welsh. And come on, Wales, says Martin. I just tuned back in after my English tears. What the hell's going on today, says Tom Butler. Yeah, at the moment, we see Wales up by 9. Up against Scotland. They have a decent record. Yeah, no, that was fought by quite a bit by Thomas Williams. What we're going to quickly do here is we're going to look at the last time these two sides that actually played at the Principality Stadium. It would have been back in 2024. And the verdict is it was 27-26 in favour of Scotland. So a very close game between the two sides. Lineups look quite different. We saw Cameron win it in that number 15 juice. What happened to him? And then I remember when he was supposed to be the next best or the next big thing for Wales, and then kind of has completely disappeared. They had Owen Watkin and Nick Tompkins as the midfield. They did have Sam Costello as the number 10 with Gareth Davies as the 9. Rio Dyer was there. Adam Beard. Tommy Reffel. Dimachowski. It's always a fun name to say. And come on, Wales. What's going on in Europe? Who turned everything upside down? Can't say I'm complaining. I'm all for this upset. And come on, Scotland, says Hard Man. Scotland currently with the ball. Fagerson, 30 metres out from the Welsh line. Come on, Cymru, says Dylan. A bit of a counter ruck there from Joe Hawkins. Now Xander Fagerson. We haven't actually seen a huge amount of knock-ons in this game so far. Seems like both sides are easily getting to that 10 phase mark. Both sides none too badly defensively either. Now going off to the right-hand side. Now 20 metres out. Ben White uses it quickly. Goes to Finn Russell. Wide cut out pass to Kyle Stain. Has the man on the outside. Currently he is the only try scorer for the Scots in this contest so far. Nathan Macbeth off to Xander Fagerson. The Scottish props linking up. And what a game, Mr. Hamish. Yeah, it's been a frantic pace. Already 25 minutes in to this contest. Oh, there's an injury maybe for David Jenkins. No, he gets back up actually. Now 15 phases in now for Scotland. Oh, and there it is, the drop ball. Six Nations is so spicy. I never would have bet on Ireland. It was a record victory crazy, says Greet the Sacred Cow. And come on, Scotland, says Stefan. Yeah, like the games that we've seen so far, like Italy beating Scotland in round 1 was huge. Even France beating Ireland by the margin that they beat them by was huge in that game. And then Ireland managing to beat England. Scotland beating England was still kind of expected because of their record up against the English recently. Steve Tandy, the ex-Scotland defences coach, has a plan to put pressure on Scotland, says Powerbite. Rassi is in their heads. They just need to keep taking the medicine. Kids will be all right. Where does Rassi come into this matchup? And typical Scotland just show up against England. Then the bed. To be fair, the inconsistency has been a word of the Six Nations so far, except for France. France have managed to win all their games. But other than that, we've seen a lot of up and downs. Are they all square 15-15 on the field? They are, yes. So Wales have returned to the full contingency. Either not getting the bonus point against England may stop them getting second overall. They did get the bonus point, though, for 4 tries. Because, yeah, Six Nations isn't 3 or more than your opposition. It's just 4 tries in general gets you the bonus, doesn't it? Unless they, of course, changed it. We have their Duan Funamurva. Says JD. And I was like, how's that, Hamish? Craig from St. Francis Bay in the Eastern Cape. Now kick down towards the Scottish 22. Ben White runs this one back. In fact, this time it's Kinghorn. And on to the ball straight away for both them. Wins the penalty for his side. And come on, Jenkins, boyo. Says David, but great turnover there for James Botham. And a dragon is spitting fire. A Drew time is running, says Danielle. One Van der Merwe trying to put in a bit of a shot on him as well. Dragon swallows. Says Mega, that one's gone into touch. Now Wales again in an attacking spot. They don't seem interested at all in 3-pointers here. Seems like every opportunity is either a tap or a kick for the touchline. Try and score another try early. They've already got 2, so they would need 2 more to get themselves that bonus point. Taken at the front of the rolling maul. Really moving too far forward, or now 1 metre is about all that they've gained from that rolling maul so far. It's a bit disjointed as well. The breaking off the back was Dowie Lake. And Wales looking good, says Samuel. And the Scots are getting scorched, says so. And we have there, hey bro, can I use a snippet from your Fiji South Africa Sevens match for a competition for Sevens tickets? Wait, can I use a snippet of your 2024 Fiji South Africa Sevens match for a competition? What's the competition for, Dame Set match? Like, I get the tickets, but what's like the actual competition that you're entering? Scotland is the most useless, inconsistent team on this planet. There's a typical Scotland. Well done to Wales. Put the pressure. Says Devon. Try not to mention Rugby Challenge. A 1, 2, and 3 bench. With a 7-1, 6-2 splits. How brilliant was the creator, says JD. And the Dragons firing up Wales. And wrong message come on Scotland, says Martin. Oh, Alex Mann. 10 metres out from the try line. Thomas Williams. Oh, back across. That's getting close. Now left-hand side. Oh, an advantage now for Wales as well. Now third try opportunity. Oh, it's Dowie Lake who's dropped it backwards. I tell you what, Scotland may not be a mile away from a binning here. Favourite Sevens memory. says Dame Set Match. What even happened in that game? I can't even remember. 2024. But I guess so. I assume you're supposed to probably send a clip from the actual match, right? How full is the stadium? It looks sold out, at least from what I've been able to see. It looks like there are plenty of people in attendance here. Quick tap now going to be taken by the Welsh. Or at least that's the way that it looks. Time for some fun to murder, says Barbrick. Wales have gone for the 3 here instead. Makes sense, but at the same time, I thought that they were just going aggressive time after time. I was doing fun to murder on the bench last week. Says cool story. I don't think he was. This is his first moments of the Six Nations. They had Darcy Graham as that number 23 on the bench last week as well. Most people just uploading a pic. I'm making a whole production video. That's the match where you first saw me. I came across your channel. Says Dame Set Match. Okay, so you're going for bonus points for creativity. RB7's memory was Rupini Thalthal steering Fiji to victory many times, says Greet. Costello adds the additional 3. Now, Wales leading this contest 17 points to 5. Currently 12 points separating these two teams. We see it there, just not rolling away quick enough. The breakdown there for Scotland. And are you captaining the HSM G&T again? Says, I'm nutty. That's an ugly collision. I think Kyle Stain just rocked himself. I told you this is going to be as I thought. The next games are going to be scrappy. I don't know what match is going to be following. Says Kyle. So next game that is after this in the Six Nations is France versus Italy. So that is the next one that we have got coming up on the channel. And also before that, we actually have the Crusaders versus Brumbies afternoon game. Another 3 for Wales, says Danielle. Every challenge gives you 7 backs or forwards. It's JD. Good clearing kick from inside of their 22 Wales. Already 32 minutes in to this matchup. It's going quickly. Wales playing effectively too. The 2 tries on the board. 2 more would get them the bonus point. China Man dressed as Hulk Hogan. Has been going to the gym all his life for this moment. That's your commentary. Says Dame Set Match. Well, there you go. Nice run. Finn Russell goes straight through the gap. See, I forget what year things happen in the sevens, just because of how hectic the weekends are when they take place. I don't even remember who won the last sevens competition. Was it South Africa won the final up against Fiji? Or was it France? One of them. RIP Hulkster says Big Rig. Only time I'll ever back the Satyrs. Looks like Wales going to kick their backside in 2024 there. For what year it was. Now David Jenkins. 7 minutes now remaining. They have to keep controlling this match. New Zealand won it that year, says Dame Set Match. Then since then, they went a little bit down. Was Tangi Tau still with them in 2024? And Leroy Carter? Or was that the year after? I assume that one of them would have been with them in the setup. It's a long way to go. I think Scotland will edge this one. But it's good for Wales to be here right now, says Ruby. Yeah, although for Wales, you feel like they can't keep on having close games that they then lose. Like they have to get that victory eventually just to fully give their fans that hope. That's a big kick downfield from Lewis Rees-Zammit. Finn Russell inside of the 22 fires it across to Blair Kinghorn. That ball has not found touch. Germany versus Belgium last big international game of today. Says I am nutty. We have got there well from Ruth. And also great for Welsh Rugby, says Daryl. Ooh. Okay, Bayliss is about to make his way on, ladies and gents. Early change, 34 minutes into this game. Pierre Schoeman, he will make his way on too. For Nathan Macbeth, Josh Bayliss is on for Max Williamson. So the big call early from Townsend. trying to change the momentum of this game. Lack confidence and will do a world of good. Wales second in the world. Wales ahead 17 points to 5. Said it is a freaky day, says Ruth. And Wales move up from 12th, says JD. You see, theoretically, there's actually a lot of gaining that can be done by this Welsh team. In fact, we'll look at it at the halftime break. We'll work out on the calculator exactly what can happen. And something definitely misfiring in our defence. Says Barbaric, and I want all the Six Nations tables so to be close. As an Italian, I'm happy for Wales, says Chris. Now ball is still there. Just into touch for Lewis Rees-Zammit, though. Wales can never get number 2 in the world for the next 2 years, says Martin. And Finn will find a way. Well, that's the thing. He just needs to start firing that little bit more. So Wales, theoretically, they can be 11th. I don't think they can actually go any higher than that. So if Scotland won, Wales would drop to 12th in the overall rankings. Scotland would go up to 7th. If Scotland were to somehow win this game comfortably, they would stay in 7th. But if Wales were able to win this game, Scotland would drop to 10th in the world, down 1 ranking. So I think that's about all the movement that can happen. There's a knock on. And I'll go back now. I'm thinking about putting that clip at the start of the vid. I want to post my entry this weekend. As it closes soon, do I have your permission? I assume so, as long as they know it's like not you who's doing it. But I assume that you're doing what you're supposed to in the comp. So hopefully you end up winning. Then you'll be able to go to... There was more 7s, right? So I feel like that's the perfect scenario. And may as well just hand France the trophy already, says Big Rig. And I hope you're Wales, old mate. And I would shout, yeah, I'm getting thirsty, says JD. And come on, Scotland, says Ian there. And wonder what percentage of European teams are South Africans and Kiwis. We have become the World Rugby incubators, it seems. Says Ruby. And France choked versus England last year, says I'm nutty. Yeah, although still won the Six Nations due to the points that they had from their prior games, which could actually end up working out the same this year. Winning another line out now for Scotland. 35 out from Wales's line. And no way, let's go, says Inquisitor. All balls loose. Ben White picks that ball up. Pick and go from Kyle Steyn. He goes through. Does a step as well. He's 5 metres out from the try line, but just shut down before getting over. Ben White, though, they've got numbers left-hand side. Duan Fundamerva's running over on the sideline. I'm not sure why he's off the field. Wales get the penalty in the breakdown. Alex Mann with the steal. We have there. Catch me up. What happened, says Inquisitor. So Wales started quick. Reece Curry was able to score in the early stages of the game again. Scotland then fired back with Kyle Steyn's try, and then backline movement from Wales to bring the Josh Adams try. There was a yellow card for Wales early on, but they didn't really have too much happen against them during that period. And now we're almost at half-time, and the Welsh are leading by 12. Wales are playing their hearts out today. They have nothing to lose and no point to prove. And Alza from Cape Town, thanks for helping me. I not miss this game while it works, says Pit Stop. No worries at all. We are going to be here for that France versus Italy game tomorrow as well. And a bit of Super Rugby too, so be sure to stick around. Dowie Lake going to the front of the line. Now, a little bit of a delayed throw there. Scotland almost getting up and trying to get that steal. They are bound in there. This ball might struggle to come out here for Wales. There's about 7 Scotsmen. No, it does pop out the back for Thomas Williams. Aaron Wainwright runs it at Dash. Told to get out of there for Matt Fagerson. And still told to get out of there. A couple extra times by Matthew Carley, just in case. And 12 Wales, says JD. It should have been Scotland penalty. Wales hands in the ruck, says Scott Bowie. Scotland in this game go to concentrate on the France game. I thought that's what they did versus Italy, says Barbaric. I think that game up against Italy, they just got beaten by a side that played that little bit better on the day now. Kinghorn with a pass on the inside. White goes with a rubber attempt. But yeah, I think they just weren't clinical enough in the rainy conditions. They dropped the ball about 15 times, Scotland. up against the Italians, and you could see the frustration after the game that they definitely didn't expect to lose it. And maybe, what's happened here? Looks like it was unplayable in the breakdown. Anthems doesn't look too flash in the bottom of that ruck. And I think that Italy just played better, says Chris. And whereas England on the world rankings now, I believe the English are sitting in 5th and Ireland are sitting in 3rd because they won that game by more than 15. Maybe it meant Wales are 1.2 in the world and South Africa 1.0, says Cool Story. Wales are definitely better than the box, says Greet. How does the New Zealand under-20s look this year? Not actually too sure. I haven't been paying attention to who's getting selected. I assume they're still doing the under-20 Super Rugby. They normally do that a bit later on, though, I think. But there's a few talented youngsters, but most of them have ended up in Super Rugby. If you got that wrong again, Wales not releasing, says Scott. I'm a Sharks fan. If my team can only drop the ball 15 times in a game, I would be a happy camper. And Scotland needs South Africa power, says Martin. Currently 18 seconds remaining in this first half. It is a Welsh scrum. So I would think more than likely if you're Wales, you just get this ball out of the air and boot it into touch. Currently in terms of the odds, Wales are $1.80 favourites. They were $7.50 starting at this game. A massive turning point in this matchup just from the lack of real, possession here for Scotland, but also just not quite finishing off the job. It's gone into the pocket. Costello kicks it into touch. And that is going to be a half-time massive eruption of a cheer around the Principality Stadium. Reece Curry firing up the crowd too, as they know that at the moment they are in control. If Wales play South Africa today, they'd be playing them today, says Cool Story. And also South Africa is the only country that produces powerful men, says Greet. And going to be flames in the changing room, says Barbrick. And if Ireland can get a good scrum, I reckon Scotland and Wales won't beat them, no chance. And I also think that Italy deserved to win against Ireland. But they made some wrong choices, especially when they should have went for a kick, went for touch instead. And there was a whole weekend a couple of years ago where Wales were ranked first in the world. Let's talk more about South Africa, says Samuel, and long overdue for Wales, says JD. And go on, Hamish, say it. Tell us what happened when Scotland played Argentina. No, it's not quite that bad yet for the Scottish. But being down by 12 is not where they would have seen themselves at the halftime break in this matchup. Now, I've got about a 15-minute break before they get back underway in this contest. And agree, says the governor there. Yeah, this will be intriguing for the second half. Only now we've got plenty of ads that will be taking place here in New Zealand while we're at that break. I wonder whether or not during this game I get strategic and schedule that Crusaders livestream, seeing as this then would redirect you to that matchup. This game of rugby. The Box also play rugby, so let's talk about that, says Crete. The second half will be interesting. And Scotland kill Wales in the second half. No tries, says Scott. And the Six Nations has been really good, says Ronnie Pickering. It's a name I haven't heard in a while. But yeah, this competition, the unpredictableness of these games has been what's made it so enjoyable. If someone just needs to stop France, yeah. And who's it going to be? At the moment, there are two sides. Well, there are three sides that can do it. There's Italy, there's Scotland, and there's England. Don't drink on the job, Hamish, says Martin. Is Georgia higher than any Six Nations teams in the world rankings at the moment? Says, I am nutty. I'll have a quick look. World rankings calculator for the men's full table. Georgia are 13th in the overall standings. I think they stay there. They might get enough points up against Spain, actually, to boost them up from that game earlier on. I'd love Italy to give them a good game, even if they don't win. And we have got there, please stop talking about betting odds. You're just normalising gambling on sport, which is not something to be encouraged. Says Random. To be fair, I have been an advocate many times that gambling has ruined sports. It's just more so because when I talk about percentages, people don't understand them. So it's just the easier way of saying it. But if you want in terms of percentages instead, we can work with that. Currently, Wales would be given about a 55% chance of winning that one. And new coach and new young players in building, because this is nonsense, says Devon. And we also got there, I think we were like 16th last I checked, says Inquisitor. 16th. Who, Wales? Or 16th at the moment is USA, sitting on 68.26. A great game, Wales loving this, says Demon the 11th. And also we have got there, is Georgia High? Oh no, I read that one, didn't I? And goodness me, what a game, says JD. Yeah, coming out absolutely firing in this contest, Wales. But Reece Curry, he has scored 2 weeks in a row, the big prop. What entertainment, Wales need to maintain the intensity. Replacements will be vital, says Saturday Player. And they've already had to make a couple of them. We've seen the early changes made. James Bothamy went out on the field for Tame Plumtree. We saw briefly Blair Murray out there, but Hamer Webb has made his way back on. And also some early changes made by Scotland too, as they maybe weren't anticipating this type of scoreline. Wasn't expecting to score at halftime. Great to see Wales really going for it. I hope they don't run out of steam. And also we got the great commentary, Mr. Hamish, says JD, and surprising USA is that high in the rankings, says Justin. Yeah, although, to be fair, if they played anyone round that same ranking, such as if they played Chile again or played Tonga in the Pacific Nations Cup, they have got potential of dropping relatively heavy. Like, there are a lot of sides on around 66. Like, these are world rankings from 14th to 20th. Uruguay, 69.19. Spain, 69.16. USA, 68.26. Chile, 66.72. Tonga, 66.66. Portugal, 66.53. Samoa, 66.43. So there are 4 sides within 66 and about half of a decimal of each other. Six Nations is being crazy and I'm loving it, says Chris. Did you see the Ireland versus England game? I was cheering for Ireland. I certainly did. We did cover that one on the channel and it was absolutely insane the way that game shaped up in the end. But big win for the Irish side. And it slightly keeps their Six Nations alive. Don't get me wrong, it's going to take quite a bit to go their way for them to end up as the champions. But it's a possibility. And you just never know. That's the fun thing about the Six Nations comp, is there's so much that can happen in very quick succession. We got the week off next week in terms of Six Nations fixtures, just because it is the bye week. Unfortunately, Italian media don't cover all the games, says Chris. Don't they? See, I don't know what coverage Italy have of the Six Nations overall, just because I also don't speak Italian. I assume they'd have some sort of broadcaster for some, right, though. Can anyone threaten France's run? Maybe Scotland at Murrayfield if France go experimental, but I don't think they will. I think they'll go full strength and try and go on and win that game comfortably too. But in terms of like England, if they can bounce back, but it's going to take a big old bounce because they were a bit shaky, or very shaky, in their last 2 performances. Entertaining game so far. Come on, Wales. And Wales are playing well 100%. Scots won't win this game if they continue with all the turnovers and the mistakes, throwing this game away, says Devon. And Wales is going to win, says Mr. Rivals. And we just covered the Italy match, says Chris. Yeah, that game taking place tomorrow. We are going to be covering it on the channel as well. So anyone who is new, of course, be sure to hit that subscribe button. There is also a game taking place tomorrow afternoon in the Super Rugby competition. That is going to be between the Crusaders and also the Brumbies. And no disrespect to Wales, but I would love to see Scotland and Wales replaced by Fiji and Argentina. So what do you do with the Rugby Championship then, Devon? In terms of, do you replace Argentina in that competition? Or do you just... Because I know that Fiji were rumoured, as well as Japan, as potential joining of the Six, or not of the Six Nations, sorry, but of the Rugby Championship in the next decade or so. We definitely we're just not for long. What did I tell you about the first point scored, says Martin. Although this game's not over yet, still plenty of time for a comeback opportunity here for Scotland, but they will definitely have to play a lot better than they did in the first half, having too many unforced errors, creating chances for the opposition. No ways Wales are winning, says Mr. Rival. Yeah, the fact that they're winning by this margin too, I think is the thing that makes it that much more impressive. Sorry, very difficult to understand them, says James. Must be the Kiwi accent and the fast talking. But I can do it in a Scottish accent if you like, but I might offend absolutely everyone from Scotland. I did see Gregor Brun doing nicely throughout that first half for Scotland at times. There's also a few names that I'd have to say in a South African accent in the Scottish team as well, but that's a different story. Sky Italia Sports show all the Six Nations regular and under-20s World Cup and Winter Games, says Richard. Wales been hitting hard, forcing the errors. Yeah, they've actually done very well defensively in this game, the Welsh, because that is something that they maybe, I'd say, let slip in the game up against the French. There was just that middle patch where they couldn't quite get it right. But yeah, this game just seems like they're a whole different side again. And I actually think that Wales have improved in every game that they've played in the Six Nations thus far. And Wales are on fire. Hope Scotland pulls a comeback. And definitely has been an entertaining game. Come on, Wales says keep it simple. And there too. And Argentina can play both. They won't complain about more games. Fiji too. Yeah, I don't know how it works for rankings would be the only thing. I think that might get them in a bit of trouble in terms of how many games they are allowed to play. But if the rankings weren't considered, I feel like it would be quite cool to see it work out. And I thought there were some good things against New Zealand for Wales. And this Wales reminds me of halfpenny times, says Chris. Oh, yeah, so a little bit of a throwback to the old days. Well, not really old days. It was only a couple years ago, wasn't it? For Lee Halfpenny. We've got the highlights of France at the moment playing New Zealand in the sevens, which means by the time that game ends, we will be back underway. And Costello playing well. Yes, controlled this game nicely from that number 10 jersey. Once again, they're limiting the errors in this game, Wales, compared to what we saw last week, where we saw quite a few moments where it wasn't smooth. Definitely after that Adam Beard kick downfield, or at least attempted kick where they did get the intercept, France completely changed the momentum of the whole game. And Tandy, that's the key, says Hamok there. Wales are definitely better than last year. Yeah, that's the thing. They had their 43-0 up against the French, in which they did lose by, that big margin. This year they scored a couple tries up against the French and lost by a slightly smaller margin. I just realised I put that on the wrong stream. I was setting up the Crusaders Brumbies one. We can delete that. And Wales looked at the last game, Irish beat English, and said we can do the same. And Up the Satyrs says keep it simple. Do you think they're beaten? They should beat the Brumbies, right? They haven't lost in Christchurch to the Brumbies in 26 years or something like that. We need to fight back Scotland. 40 to go, boys. And yeah, once again, still more than enough time for a comeback. If the Scottish manage to come out firing early, score the try, can completely change things. But yeah, it's just a bit of a wait and see. Why have I got Brumbies and Crusaders round the wrong way in that title? Interesting. We've got the Alwyn Jones has had a hair transplant. Says Power Bite. Good on him. I feel like it's one of those ones that at the end of the day, it's up to the person who does it, isn't it? Okay, I'm actually going to unschedule that live stream for Crusaders versus Brumbies because I've got the tags, not the tags, the title around the wrong way. So we'll fix that later. There is no upset today, says Martin. It's the 2000-2004 Brumbies. Brumbies have the odds to win, says Samuel. Yeah, they're given about a 25% chance. We'll go back to those percentages. But yeah, not a huge chance, but enough of one. And come on, Wales, says Joffa. In there too. Do you know Gibson Park was amazing today? I did. I watched that game live. And we covered it on the channel. He was exceptional. I think that McCluskey also was phenomenal out there on the field. We saw Tommy O'Brien make his way off the bench and have just such a brilliant impact too. And Alwyn Jones can do whatever he wants. He has earned it, says Justin. And also, I did miss one earlier on. We got fun fact. Wales had a run, 15 wins from 16 tests, lifting them from the lowly position of 7th to number 1 on the eve of the Rugby World Cup 2019. Can't write them off. And upset day, says Samuel. Yeah, who won in the Super Rugby games? I think it was favourite in both Super Rugby games, but in terms of these ones, it has been the round of upsets for the Six Nations, which I mean that maybe bodes well for Italy in their next game. We have to shut the Welsh attack down, and what is happening in the Rugby Union right now, Wales are leading Scotland 17 points to 5. They certainly are. Both sides get ready to make their way out of the tunnel. For anyone wondering what is still to come for these two sides as well, we will go like that. These are the remaining fixtures, as well as France versus Italy, which has taken place 24 hours or so. In fact, a little bit less than that, about 22 hours' time. But Ireland versus Wales, it is in 2 weeks. So next week is a bye week in the Six Nations. No one plays. There is URC and also Super Rugby that will be happening. So we will be covering those competitions on the channel instead. But then some big games, Scotland versus France. Italy, England, that'll be an intriguing one. Definitely with the fact that it is taking place in Italy. And then that last round, 3 games back to back to back. That 7th of March one will be an interesting game as well. I just want to very quickly check as these two sides run back out onto the field now. I feel like 7th of March is when my junior cricket team are away from home. But I may have to organise for someone else to take them. Potentially. But Scotland now, they've got 40 minutes to be able to fire back. They've got the calibre of players to do it. 7th of March. Oh no, they're at home, so that actually works quite nicely. Someone will be easily available to take them. And now Finn Russell, ready to kick off the second half. I'm too considering a hair transplant. That's why I notice these things. Says Power Bite. And anyone else watch their Rugby World or get their Rugby World Cup 2027 tickets yet? We got 6 for the Brisbane game, says I am nutty. And didn't play too well last week, the Crusaders, says Daryl. That is true, although they don't normally go 2 weeks in a row not playing well. And Williams rolls it back. Let's kick it high. And down into touch. What if Italy beat France tomorrow? That would be huge. And it would once again completely open up this Six Nations competition. Lots of handling errors, says Daryl. And what animal is a waratah? I don't think it is an animal, is it? Here in New Zealand, a waratah is something that like you put in the ground. I don't know if it's an animal. We have got there, come on Wales, says Harry. And Dave Cherry to throw this one round the halfway line. Oh, that one was almost stolen again at line-out time. Oh, in fact, it is by David Jenkins. He's managed to get in there and rip it onto the side of the Welsh. You're beautiful just the way you are, says Justin. And it's a flower, says I am nutty. And it's the floral emblem of New South Wales and Scotland too, dependent on Russell, says Joey. Going up for that ball. Kyle Steyn knocks it on. And both of them just couldn't quite get his feet back underneath him. Told to get out of there. Oh, a new penalty advantage now in favour of the Welsh as well. This one's straight out in front of the post, so they can take the easy 3. But first, they'll try and get one last attack going. And Waratah is a flower, and also Wales are currently showing how bad England really are. Says Powerbite. Now off left-hand side. Another hard tackle made by Kyle Steyn. Costello. Goes to both them. Shut down in the breakdown. On the body, told to get out of it once more. Costello goes across to the captain, Dowie Lake. He'll be more than happy with what he saw from his side in the first half, but he will know the job is far from done. Still 38 minutes of rugby to be played. And anyone's game for the taking. Thomas Williams goes left, moving it in behind Josh Adams. Now to Alex Mann. Williams still under penalty advantage, I believe, at the moment here for Wales. after 10 more phases. And Wales, with a spring in their step, says keep it simple. Okay, players off their feet from both sides, so Carly will not give the penalty in the breakdown. Yeah, Brumbies are wild horses. Says Dion. Yeah, David Jenkins. Goodbye, Sione Tuipulotu. He's another player we haven't really said too much of throughout this game. Now passed on the outside. Hamer Webb cuts back in. Tackled by Hugh Jones. 12 phases in a row for the Welsh. This will use up valuable time off of the clock too. Come on, Scotland, says Modernist. And Ger says Barbrick. Now David Jenkins. Oh, that's a huge shot coming in from Bayliss. One of the changes that Townsend made early on in the passage of play, about 37 minutes through the game, and that is a penalty to Scotland in the breakdown. And one of the players did make his way on alongside, I believe it was Pierre Schoolman, who also came on. You're incredible. No stopping you. Powered by Water Energy, says Ruth. G'day, Hamish. Thank you for the game, mate, says Andy. No worries at all. We've still got plenty more coming up for this weekend. We've got the Crusaders, Brumbies around the corner, and then alongside that also another game of the Six Nations, France versus Italy, in the random hours of the night. Yeah, I thought Wild Horse, says Cool Story, and I Hamish doing good, says Jan Lou. Yeah, currently thoroughly entertained by the games that we've had of the Six Nations. Nicky Smith makes his way on. Reece Curry again scoring in a game at the Principality Stadium 2 weeks in a row. He has got over the try line. Hydroelectric Hamish. And I'm impressed how's Ben Carter doing. He could be a long-lost cousin. And lots of Carters and Wales in the UK. He's been putting pressure on in the lineouts, which I think will be a big part of Wales' game throughout the next 36 minutes, but currently Scotland on the attack. Good hands from Sione Tuipulotu, picks it up, gives it off now. Kinghorn through a gap, just held on to by Alex Mann, who's been attacked the machine throughout the first 45. Now Pierre Schoolman, carry for him. Someone stayed down, I think that's Thomas Williams, but does eventually make his way back up. Six Nations actually kind of exciting this time. And 26 points to 17 in favour of Scotland. Yeah, the Six Nations, these games are getting more and more competitive by the year, it seems, which is fantastic because you just never know who's going to be able to get it. Our game of the Six Nations so far, Scotland against England. Probably. Although, actually, I know it's not close, but I really enjoyed France versus Wales last week. Definitely the first half. That first half was one of the best starts of rugby I've seen in a long time. Not so much maybe for the skills and whatnot that took place in the game, just absolutely just end-to-end stuff. And there was no second during that half that I wanted to take my eyes off it. So I'd say that one half of the Six Nations so far. The second half slowed down a little bit as you'd expect and got a bit more one-sided. But yeah, it was a really good half. Or at least I enjoyed it. I don't know whether or not other people did as well. Turnovers won so far. Wales getting themselves the 7th penalty there. And very important that Scotland score first here, says Justin. If Wales win here, this will be. It's a cool story. I think Australia will do anything to win. In 2027, Australia don't have a chance, says Martin. At 3 p.m. for the UK time. Says I am nutty. And now line out here at 7 p.m. in South Africa. Says given. Thrown in, taken by Jenkins. Lineouts won so far. Wales have not lost a single lineout. They've had 8 from 8. Whereas Scotland, they have lost 2 of their 9. Now Williams. Left-hand side to Nicky Smith. Middle of the field. Only 35 out. Is this? Oh, I thought they were going for a drop kick there for a second, but Costello will kick it high. Chasing after this. It's going to be the 15. Slap him back. Lewis Rees-Zammit getting the hands on the ball. Falls into the hands of Hawkins now. Nicky Smith. In a good position. Straight out in front of the post. They have options both ways. I've just seen one of the Wales players shifting a little bit wider to the left. Nice inside pass from Sam Costello with the quick hands. Now left, Dowie Lake, tackled by his opposite number, Cherry. Now they're going to shift it left. No, instead Wainwright decides to take the contact instead. Josh Adams, he is right out on the wing at the moment. Typical Scotland win big games, then lose to lower teams. Says bad to the bone. Oh, advantage there for in off the feet from Scotland. That's a mistake that they couldn't afford. Lewis Rees-Zammit trying to kick him behind, deflecting off the hands of Scotland. And they'll go back now for the penalty again. Wake up Scotland, playing like the ABs now. Says Martin, and Scotland physically can't back it up. And the crazy thing is, right, Scotland in this game, in some regards, they've put Duan van der Merwe into this lineup. They've put Blair Kinghorn into this side. So in terms of the backs, they've actually stacked them a little bit more, but maybe some of those guys who are in form playing, such as a Tom Jordan, or out on the wings, there's been some decent talent for the Scottish team. And I think it's just showing that minutes played in a competition can actually help you a lot more than form elsewhere. Referee blind, that should be Scotland penalty. Wales holding on, says Scott. And that kick has gone over from Sam Costello. 48 minutes through, and the score now 20 points to 5. That leads them by more than the 15. We do see there Liam Williams alongside Jack Morgan and a guy on the right who I recognise. I think is that Gareth Davis? Maybe? Was that who it was on the right-hand side? Do let me know, ladies and gents. He looked familiar, though. Nicely taken by Kinghorn off kickoff. Scotland now back with possession. Moving away to the left. Finn Russell out to Tuipulotu. One more pass out to Duan van der Merwe. Ball on the inside to Hugh Jones, who drops it. And it's going to be no try again for the Scottish team, who just can't quite catch a break or a ball in this case. That's a try. He kicked it on, says Scott. And no upsets this weekend. Or no upsets this weekend. But yeah, Kinghorn going up and retaining that ball straight away for Scotland. We're going to see the replay now. He tried to pass it on the inside. Van der Merwe. And straight off the hands of Hugh Jones. I really hope you were joking, Scott, when you said that he kicked it on. Because that one was about as clear of a knock-on as we've seen. And Ireland will move up to third in the rankings, probably, says John. They do. Maybe France get a few points from Italy. Not a huge amount, though. In fact, we'll get the world rankings calculator out again. Oh, that's going to be a scrum reset for Matthew Carley. Okay, so Wales winning this game by that. France up against Italy. Yeah, France can't gain anything, so Ireland will remain as third in the rankings for the rest of this round, or the rest of this week. And score time, Scotland, says Martin. Ireland win today. I'm very happy today, says Margaret. Why isn't Jamie Ritchie playing? Says I'm nutty. Yeah, probably another guy that they could have looked at giving more of a chance, but rotating the squad, feeling like the Welsh game maybe was slightly easier for them here. You got to be kidding, says Barbrick. It was a great attacking chance and just mistake made again when it comes to catching the ball. Good pressure put in from Scotland, though, in that breakdown. And France needs to win if they want the points. Would Italy be, or what would Italy gain if they won against France? They gain 2 full points, the Italians, if they win by even just 1 point, in which case they would go up to 7th in the world rankings and go up 3 full rankings overall. And I'd have to say that would be the highest Italy have been in the overall world rankings, surely. If that was the case, they would drop Australia down to 8th, Fiji down to 9th, Scotland down to 10th. But then if Scotland win this game, Italy would still go up to 7th, but Scotland would be in 8th. Free Pizza says, I am nutty. And they also gain keeping the Six Nations open, says Big Rig. That is true. It's wide open for any side. We see Archie Griffin now onto the field. What happened to Hamish Watson, the footballer? I think he retired, didn't he? But now 38 metres out, Scotland with ball in hand again. He must have gigantic toe. He laughed at his own foot. Says JD. Now White. I think they have to bring George Horn on. I know that I say it each and every week. But just currently, like, White's been all right. But Horn could be a match changer. Just similar to what we saw in that opening contest up against the Italians. How he scored within a short amount of time. Oh, Hamish Watson, the Scottish flanker. Sorry, there's actually more than one Hamish Watson. I thought you were talking about the footballer. He's still around. Just isn't in the squad, I don't think. And we have got there starting to think this is rigged, says Daryl. And you have to love how much the Italians have come on. Nice pass on the outside to Kyle Stain. Yeah, they're no longer the easy beats of the competition, which is fantastic news. Just because it makes it that much more competitive. Ben White goes now to Gregor Brown. 10 metres out. Back across left once more. Currently 11 phases as well for the Scottish. Taking their time in the breakdowns, a little bit lethargic. In Wales, they know that this is the game right here. If they concede now, the comeback can start. I mean, do you blame the coach versus players in context of Townsend? Depends on who you are. I think some people blame Townsend for every single thing that's happened. The players seem to blame themselves as well. They take a bit of the pressure off him, but yeah, it just depends on who you talk to. I like to think that handling errors aren't down to the coach. Tactics are, but handling, like just dropping the ball when you're a professional rugby player, you can't just keep on blaming the coach for that. Currently 3 metres out from the line. Ben White goes away left. Pierre Scorman gets there a little bit closer. White thought about going to Kinghorn on the left, but instead will fire it across to the big forwards on the right. Xander Fagerson 2 metres out still. Here for Scotland, who have gone 20 phases. It's great defence from the Welsh. They are not budging, but is it eventually going to be a try-scoring opportunity for the Scots? Getting close there with Bayliss, held up by Wales. Nicky Smith trying his absolute best to get that ball back in the breakdown. Pierre Scorman 1 metre out again here. Ben White calling his shots. Looks like he's going to leave it for Matt Fagerson. He's got Sione Tuipalotu with him. And again, just the 1 inch from the goal line. Dave Cherry goes himself again, just short. It's phenomenal defence from Wales. Probably some of the best defence we've seen from them throughout the Six Nations. But now Finn Russell runs it through himself and scores the try for Scotland. That could be the big game-changing moment. Scotland says G-Mans. And also, Williams says there's a knock-on here. I think TMO may have a quick check. Patience is key. The Six Nations as a whole have improved loads over the years. Level rugby now being played is so exciting to watch. And Scotland are a mental basket case of test footy. You never know which version is going to turn up on the day. Finn Russell finishing it well. They're doing such a brilliant job with defending right next to the breakdown. A phenomenal defence from Wales. Scotland instantly scores. To be fair, though, they were up to 28 phases by that stage. So they've been holding on for long enough, but it was as soon as Scotland decided that their backs were the option rather than the forwards that Wales, I think, just got caught next to the breakdown. Yes, Six Nations is a great tournament. Says Cool Story Sharks. Cometh the hour, cometh the fin. Says G-Mans. And I spot on, fumbling the player's fault, not the coach's. Come on, Wales, shake things up, says Cape Tonian. And it now makes the score an 8-point contest. 20 points to 12. It felt comfortable for Wales at stages in this match. They are still considered as slight favourites, the Welsh. But now not by as much. Right, Dowie Lake, he has come off the field now, making the change. It is Ryan Elias adding him out into the side. Now, he has a few line-out troubles, or at least he did in the last game. They did it at high accuracy when Dowie Lake was out there, just to have it drop a bit when Ryan Elias started. I also do see Jared Evans. He is now on the field too for Wales. As Six Nations not following the script, Hamish chances of Italy upsetting France. Very slim, but who knows? And this does not look good for Sam Costello. They're just going to take him off now. It looks like the left knee. Tell me, Hamish, what is happening with England? Rassi Erasmus is probably laughing currently. Says Mornay. Well, they had a couple rough games. That's some good strength shown by the two men carrying Costello off the field. Dave Cherry's off for George Turner. Elliot Miller Mills is on for Fagerson. They are the underdogs, says Petrus, and George Horn is on now, says Powerboy. I like that choice from Scotland too. Adds that little bit more intensity to the game, likes getting that ball out quickly. Darcy Graham on for Duan Funamurva, who has been, I'd say, disappointing in his return to international rugby for the Scots. And he had a couple carries. Claire Kinghorn takes it, offloads to Finn Russell. Way to Darcy Graham. was already almost carried the same amount of metres as Duhan, and he's only had one. As referee is shocking, says Power Bite 92. I'm really torn. For this game, I really love the Scottish and Scotland team, but I want to see Wales playing well again. Oh, charge down there, cleaned up by Finn Russell, offload to George Horn. He's got pressure on her from his opposite number, Thomas Williams, and the penalty awarded there in off the feet from Scott Cummings. Wales can now go for the 3 points again if they want it, or you go aggressive. Russell wants to do a waffle kick, and how is Duhan going today? His form has been up and down. He was not great out there on the field. Didn't really go looking for work either for the Scottish. Maybe that was down to the amount of phases that Wales were putting together. But, yeah, he didn't do a huge amount. Penalty count at the moment in the second half. One for Wales early, but then the next three have been against Scotland. Take the point, says Inquisitor. And try, oh no, says Darryl. But this is going to be the kick here for Evans. Now, Costello, he was doing brilliantly off the kicking tee, currently sitting 4 from 4. Jared Evans for the first kick of the day, just over 30 metres out. Final score 23-19. You heard it here first. Says Cool Story. Jared Evans, he's got that one over. Making it now 23-12 in favour of this Welsh team. 22 and a half minutes remaining. What was that, man? Is in like the breakdown. Oh, that was an awkward bouncing ball. No, that's what you were talking about. Darcy Graham scores off kickoff. Finn Russell with some brilliance. Darcy Graham, now he's definitely had more of an impact than Duhan van der Merwe, but they score straight away. That was a phenomenal bit of work from Scotland to see the space. And 22-14 was my prediction. That's impossible now, says Big Rig. But yeah, kicked off long. Wales weren't ready. Darcy Graham was. The bounce of the ball, it could have gone dead. It could have gone sideways into touch, but instead it found the hands of Graham. And now this game's split by less than 7. Gregor Downs is looking very nervy in a seat. He knows that this is his job, says Powerbite. So you're saying if he wins this game, he keeps it? We cover under 20 Rugby World Cup as well, or at least the final, says I'm nutty. When is it taking place? It all depends on what the overlaps are and what else is happening around that same time. Finn Russell strikes it from the sideline. 4 points difference now between these two teams. And still got to score twice, says Darryl. Well, just once now for the Scots would put them into the lead by 1. This is why we love rugby, says Inquisitor. And just when the game looked like it was almost controlled, something like that happens to completely change it. You can see the frustration from the Welsh coach. He knows that may have just been the crucial blow that Scotland needed to get the momentum fully. And now the tails will be up for Scotland. What a game. We got ourselves again, says Inquisitor. And here we go, says Barbaric. And the benefit that we've got is we've still got 21 minutes left in this game. So plenty of time for both to get going. And I didn't even plan on watching this one. It's so incredible. The luck is with the Scots. They will probably win now. But a big aggressive run back from Wales, I should say. Back to 40 metres out from Scotland's line. Alex Mann back across to the left. End of June and July. So around the same time as finals for Super Rugby, URC and whatnot, right? Now going across here. Space on the outside. Hugh Jones tries to chip, but it's taken by Thomas Williams. He's under pressure with George Horn all over him. Yes, Darcy, the man, says Ian. And a penalty now awarded to Wales. Being Scottish is not good for your health, says the fear for Chan. And also we have got there Russell as the key for Scotland's win. Go Wales, fire up, says David. Have they done like the announcement of the dates, I am nutty, for those games? Or is it just that that's the when it's taken place, but nothing more specific? And one goes into touch. We've seen there, it's just showing the timeline. The early try from Wales. Scotland fired back. Try for Wales. Few penalties. Try for Scotland. Then penalty for Wales. Then try back for Scotland there again. How do you beat England and lose to Wales? Scots always get up once a year when they play the enemy, says Vic and Vern. Yeah, it's very difficult for a Six Nations campaign for Scotland to find consistency. Because, lose to Italy, beat England, then potentially lose to Wales. Although I don't think if this game keeps on going the way that it seems, they may not lose this one. Well, 23-19 crazy from Wales, says Josiah. A bizarre game, says SoCal. Bizarre in the best possible way, though. As it's just been back and forth all over the place. That one's going to be in the hands of Kyle Steyn. Watching from South Australia up early. To watch Glad, I did see us keep it simple. And now Kinghorn passes across to George Horn. He's an impact player and a half here. Oh, that's a brilliant last-ditch tackle from Evans that literally just saved a try because no one was catching Horn had he broken through that last tackle. A lot of upsets in rugby union has been occurring, says Josiah. So yes, the games are announced. So like the times that the games are taking place and everything. Looks like staying down here for now. One of the Scottish players kicked in behind by Scotland playing territory. I also think that while Russell is a really crucial player, he can be both the engine of the team and the demise of the Scots. He's crazy in the head, unpredictable for everyone. Yeah, I don't even think Finn Russell knows what's happening when he's out there on the field. He just kind of goes about his business, and if he plays well, he plays well. If he doesn't, he doesn't. But that's the risk that they're willing to take with Russell as a 10. Can't wait for the Crusaders against the Brumbies, says Vic and Byrne. Yeah, should be a intriguing type of matchup, that one. Looks like Hamer Webber's about to make his way off the field. That is for Blair Murray. Now, we did actually see that change take place earlier on in the game, as within a couple days, we saw the nose getting messed, within a couple minutes, I should say, rather than days, the nose did get a bit messed up. Currently 4 points separating these two sides. Still absolutely anyone's game, ladies and gents. And it is there for Scotland. That was long ago, says Darryl. I see Finn Russell was the highest paid rugby player in the world now. And Wales wasted their chances, says Martin. Will this not hurt Wales in the worst way if they do lose the game? Yes. Like I mentioned about it earlier on, I think Wales, the sad reality is it would have been better for them to lose this game by a lot than to lose this game by a narrow margin when they've been leading. Because that, once again, gets the hopes up almost over the line and then just to come down at the final hurdle. But like a bonus point would be nice at the end of the day if they were to take anything from this contest. But like, that's the thing. They just need another try conversion. And it might almost be enough. It's too early to tell. 17 minutes still left. Now, line out throw for George Turner. Goes in over the top. Finds hands of Rory Darge. George Horn. And again, that tempo has upped since he's made his way onto the field. Getting to those breakdowns with quick precision. Passed out wide to Darcy Graham. Okay, he was falling down, so it isn't going to be a high tackle. And now the wall is breaking, says Martin. And man of the match, Amos, says Kevin. I think we're a bit early for man of the match candidates just yet, but I'd definitely say that Costello was solid out there for the Welsh in the 10 jersey. It also will depend on who wins this game, of course, as to who gets that man of the match award. Another penalty going the way of Wales. Some of the loose forwards definitely deserve credit. Alex Mann, probably the guy I would almost give it to. You can do 2 games tomorrow, Perpignan. I play tomorrow straight after the French game. Says, I'm nutty. No, I'm going to be sleeping for a couple of hours before going to work, more than likely. I'm at 16 minutes now left. 3 tries for Scotland, so 1 away from the bonus point. I think Scotland will blow Wales away now, sadly, says SoCal Dreaming. And the Scottish fight back, says JD. Riga Townsend, this has to be one of those games that you just hate to watch as a coach. 10 penalties against Scotland, double the amount that we've seen from the Welsh. Even if Scotland go on to scrape the win, questions hang over Tooney. And better England 1 week, struggle against Wales. Where's the consistency? Yeah, the consistency is far away for Scotland. Definitely with the fact that they lost to Italy in the opening round of the Six Nations as well. For Wales lose, so it'll be a crushing defeat after their start. Says bad to the bone, but currently they have got themselves the attack going. 30 metres out. Ryan Elias. Ooh, just the knee goes down for Scotland in the breakdown. I think that was the big man, Miller Mills, looking for the steal. And too much rugby drains me. How do you do it, Hamish says so incredible. I don't actually know, to be fair. I think it's because it's different competition, so it is a real variety. Like, no 2 games are the same. Now, to be fair, his changes have turned things. Says Barbrick, and come on, Scotland, says Hardman. And also England struggled the last 2 games and lost it, says Martin. To 7 phases now. Aaron Wainwright pops it up to Botham. Came on early for Tame Plumtree and has been busy ever since. I've not seen as far more possible, or sorry, a far more positive than not if Wales lose, because it's their best game in years. Squidge burnt out, not even commentary from him. Says I am nutty. And you're trying to get me to do extra streams too, I am nutty. Now cross kick there. Oh, Graham got a fingertip to it, I think. So I believe Wales will have the line out 5 metres out, although actually they had the advantage anyway, so they will go back for the penalty. That is now the 11th against Scotland, and I would say they are not too far from another yellow card. And we Scots love the fight back. It always looks so almost for Finn Russell. Right, currently 14 minutes remaining. Rugby pass suck, no social aspects. Says, oh, I'm nutty. You might have to start. Oh, there's a croc roll. Was it by Wales? Can I tell your 600 plus viewers that you were coming or homecoming king back in the day? I definitely was not. I don't actually know who got the because I think they had the rolls. I think, was it Isaac? Did Isaac get one of them? I think Isaac might have won cutest couple with his current fiance back at high school. Maybe. No, but I definitely wasn't in the running for anything in there. Right. It's foul play. It's only a penalty, but a penalty nonetheless, so penalty to Scotland. And final score, Wales 30 to 26. You were robbed, Hamish, prom king all the way, who has possession. It was in the hands of Wales. There was a stoppage there, though, while they were checking the TMO, and now Wales have conceded the penalty, so Scotland kicked this one into touch. And wingman Hamish says Big Rig Joe. And come on, Scotland says Hardman Andres. Okay, Thomas Williams just having a discussion here with Matthew Carley. In fact, no, that's Carl Dixon. He's chatting to, is there a yellow card? No yellow card. Quick try, Scotland, says Martin. Next try probably will win this game. Can't wait for the Crusaders versus Brumbies. Game this afternoon, going to go out for dinner. And are they in the 50s, says Blair. So now it's going to be the line out here for Scotland, 45 metres out from the Welsh line. Not a straight line out throw, but uncontested there from Wales. For this rolling maul. Right, Gilchrist, he is on for Scott Cummings. Tom Jordan on for Hugh Jones. A couple more reinforcements making their way off of Gregor Townsend's bench, which has changed the momentum completely of this game. That Darcy Graham try not too long ago certainly did help. Now going away, Blair Kinghorn up to 40 out. Russell offloads to Tom Jordan, who gets some front foot ball. No yellow card for a croc roll? No. They seem to have really limited the amount of yellows they give for croc rolls nowadays. Because we saw another one, I think it was last game, and there was nothing done about it. But now running this one forward, other than, of course, the penalty. Good run from Bayliss. Wales almost able to get the steal on the break. Down again. In fact, they win the penalty. That was an extremely late call from Matthew Carley. A neck roll again here from, this time, Scotland. And come on, Scotland. As referee is a whistle-happy nightmare, says Powerbot. And come on, Scotland, let's keep the ball and get a try now. Are the Welsh pack dominant, or is it even? It's pretty even. Although Scotland maybe haven't been able to win as many clean penalties as Wales have in the breakdown. Wales winning those turnovers conceded, or turnovers quite efficiently. Definitely inside of their own half, not if it's England, says Alan. And put it through Wales, says Jerome. And this one was a bit too far out to be able to kick it. Guys, switch over to UFC for a bit. Says SoCal Dreaming. A line out here. 40 metres from their own line, Wales. Scotland has got all the momentum at the moment. Wales must be worried, says Mornay. Although I'd say that Wales took a fair amount of it back there with the penalty one. All right, Matthew Carley has worked out the spacing between the sides as well. Jordan playing this afternoon for the Crusaders. He is playing at fullback now, rather than making his way off of the bench like he did last week. Thomas Williams. Not even sure if they are going to make a replacement of Hardy out there. Williams has played 70 minutes almost. And come on, Wales, says cool story, passing back short to Alex Mann. Should I tell your viewers about that time you bought that old lady a new house? Old lady a new house? Who's that old lady? Does that mean I own a house somewhere, or does that mean that the old lady kind of, maybe if I put it in her name, I don't know of this lady you speak of. Now go on left-hand side, Scotland back in possession after Wales kick the ball back into their grasp. Now George Horn's looking box kick here. Chasing after it, Kyle Steyn. Goes up for it, can't take it cleanly. Here's Blair Murray. It's a player who was getting some pretty decent minutes last year. Now Lewis Rees-Zammit tried to pass. He's actually managed to flick it on his way down, but it is going to be the penalty for playing it. And now Scotland fully fired up. This could give them the lead. Tui Pilotu trying to get his team to reach that next level, and a little bit of push and shove now taking place too between the two sides. Come on, Scotland, says Hardman. Now we have got there, you got the story wrong. Hamish saved an elderly lady from a burning house. And New Zealand athletes don't need much support. At the Olympics mark, they smashed everyone per capita and finished 11th on the table with only 5 million, says bad to the bone. And England got no power or skills, says Martin. Time is off here. Okay, Tui Pilotu's just been told there by Matthew Carley, keep the celebration of penalties to a minimum. They will kick for the corner here, Scotland. It's a great kick from Finn Russell, 10 metres. In fact, even closer, probably 5. Best English squad in France. And where are they now? They are 5 metres out from the line out. After that kick from Finn Russell has found the touchline about as far close to the goal line as he could have. Over a green screen, messy room, says Josiah. No, it's just that there's curtains in the background. And also a table, fun fact. Oh, ball's loose. Wales take it back there again. The crowd at the Principality fully getting fired up now. They get the possession just out from the line. Thomas Williams, he will clear this one downfield once again. An eruption of cheering from the crowd. Come on, Scotland, says Ian. It is anyone's game for the taking now. A try finally Scotland scored, says Josiah. They did not. They ended up butchering the chance in the rolling maul. Bayliss looked to pass it back and just couldn't quite get it through cleanly. Do you think Wales will win? I think that's up to Scotland. Which sounds weird to say, but I think that Scotland, they will either score now and win the game, or Scotland will butcher it and Wales will win. Those are the two options. I don't see any in between. I don't know if Wales have got another try in them, to be honest. I think that they're pretty happy on 23 and now just have to try and find a way of closing out this matchup while Scotland do a majority of the attack. Darcy Graham, 2-man tackle on him, trying to lock over the ball there for the Welsh number 5. Now Bayliss hits it up again. New advantage for Scotland. This one's straight out in front of the post. George Horn goes off now to Tom Jordan. Penalty advantage still in play. Alex Mann looking for the steal and the breakdown again. And Team Wales says, Jason, why don't they go for the 3? Because they're down by 4. And it would be a bit of a risk in this scenario. And had they got themselves that try there instead, they would have taken the lead by perhaps the 3 points, which means a draw could well and truly be on the cards if that was to happen. Now around the side, Elliot Miller-Mills. Another carry there for Scotland. Pierre Schoeman in that 17 jersey. He's going to be the big player that has a game-changing moment. Inside ball from Finn Russell. Looked forward. Yes, it was. So it will go back now for the penalty to Scotland. Now's the clock at the moment. 73 minutes through in this game. 7 minutes left. The time look scoreboard has been 64 for a while, so you're now up to 73 minutes through. Okay, they're just saying maybe Scotland go for the post, but it looks like Russell's looking towards the corner. Yeah, again, Scotland going aggressive. Where do we get these useless refs from? This ball bag is a knob. Says Rem to the referee, not good officiating. Same ref for South Africa versus Ireland. And can't play good rugby. That's all you've said for the last hour, Martin. Line out is nonsense, says the fair Fo Chan. Possession last 10 minutes, 57% for the Scottish now. Ewan Ashman. He's not playing in this game. Instead it is George Turner. Oh, okay, they wanted to take this one quickly. Matthew Carley was saying that they weren't ready. Okay, line out will be again. Matthew Carley just saying, look, I wasn't ready, and you've been told not to play the ball, and then they played it anyway. Neutral here, would love to see Wales get a win finally. We want the Scots to get a shot at the title. So here's Dexter, and Wales showing some real grit and determination, and George Ford would win this with drop goal, says Joey, or he would have his drop goal charged down, and Scotland would get themselves a full field try, like last week. And Scotland setting up the magic. And remember, guys, 23-19 full time. So here's Cole's story. Now drawing off the ball again here for George Turner. 6 exciting minutes left of the Six Nations fixture. Taken well by Scotland. Rolling maul is set. The Welsh have defended well out from their goal line for most of today. But this is going to be the most crucial period of the whole contest. George Turner moving forward. He goes through. He almost gets it down. Yes, he does. And Scotland score in the 74th minute. Ref wasn't ready. Yeah, he was talking to the medic on the far side, but Carl Dixon on the near side had already said not to throw the ball, and they did. So they did reset it, and Scotland now take the lead, 24 points to 23. Now the Scottish team, they were victorious by 1 point at the Principality Stadium back in 2024. If Finn Russell misses this kick, could be the same thing again. Are we okay there, Shotus? Have you been well, says Dexter? Doing very well. We've seen some brilliant games of rugby throughout the last 24 hours or so. We've still got more to come. France versus Italy taking place tomorrow for us here in New Zealand. And then also Brumbies versus Crusaders. Not too far away from happening too. And yes, Scotland, says Ian McLean. And now kicks it over for Finn Russell, which means if Scotland were to get any form of try from here, they would win this game. If Wales get a 3-pointer, there could be a draw. And if Wales were to score, they may just about win. Who's doing under 20 French game next? We are not. And is it a clean try? I can't watch it here. Yep, clean rolling maul try, classic. Kind of forwards based, drive towards the line, and then George Turner finishing it off. Ball drop cold by Matt Fagerson. Scrum feed now for the Welsh, only about 30 metres out from the Scottish line. Big smile on the face of Matthew Carley. He's loving the last minute drama that we're seeing here. I do feel bad for Wales now, says Olister. There was a 4 pass from the medic, says Martin. And also nice, says SoCal player contenders of the match. Daj, James, Wainwright, Jenkins. I'd give it to Alex Mann, a man who's not even in the nominations for this contest. He's had a very busy game for the Welsh and the loose forward trio. He's been able to get a couple crucial steals. That's actually so sad, oh my God. Says Faithful, though the game not over yet. 4 minutes left, and now Wales will have the attacking chance. Clean try or not, once the kicker kicked, the try is awarded, says Chris. Yeah, although it can be taken away after the kick is taken. We've seen that this weekend already. And Scotland going to score now, says Martin. It's gone from Wales having to defend like this game depends on it to now the other way around. Scotland having to defend for their Six Nations. Ball's put in at scrum time. Front rows go up. Oh, it's a penalty to Scotland at scrum. That's a big call. It looked like Wales had actually got a little bit of momentum in that scrum. Tight head and hooker both standing up. No, says Little Loves, game over, says SoCal. A win for Wales is actually possible. It's a very good performance from Wales, says Hardis. And 4 minutes is an eternity watching Scotland. And on your Scotland, says JD. So yeah, massive work there from the Scottish 4-pack. Miller Mills, Piers Schoolman, George Turner. The men in the front row to get the job done. And now kicked into touch by Finn Russell, about 42 metres out. Scotland will be from Wales's line. I won't lie, I hate this ref, says Dean Anthems. And if you need a link to do under 20s commentary or Germany game, let me know. I will let you know, of course, but I probably won't need it. My mate James will be crying, says Dion. Now line out throw for George Turner. This game still isn't over. theoretically, 3 points separating them. Scotland have lost a couple lineouts, but uncontested from the Welsh there. And again, Scotland are going to try and get this rolling maul moving. Now, the most brutal thing here for Wales would be to not receive a bonus point for being within 7. Rolling maul's still going. George Turner taken down. And now the other George Horn. Plays half, goes to Pierre Skurman. 100 seconds left now on the clock at the Principality Stadium. New penalty advantage here for Scotland. What do you do? If you're the Scots, do you take the 3 points or do you kick for the corner and try and fully punish Wales by not giving them the chance? Right, penalty advantage still. It looks like they are planning on just going for a few more phases here. Scotland. Oh, new penalty advantage. Bit closer to the goalposts. Thanks so much, great company and commentary. There's Eric. And now they are going back for the penalty. And this year's Six Nations is very unpredictable. Anything is possible. And Scotland keep the ball, says Ian. And now 1 minute left on the clock. Just under, in fact. 59 seconds. Kick at goal could be the end of this game. Scotland kicking for the corner could actually get them a bit more of a comfortable win. Surely you don't have to take a bonus point off the Welsh, do you? It's a bit of a psychological thing for Wales too. And Wales get a penalty and make this a draw. Right, they're kicking for the post. The Scottish commentator has just said he would have gone for the corner, so I assume that's to take it away. What do you do, Hamish? You run down the shot clock, says Bower by. And yeah, the last thing you want here, though, is to hit the post for Finn Russell. In fact, you could almost, I know that it's not ideal, but if you're Finn Russell, you just strike this ball as hard as you can. Even if it misses to the side, you know, it's not the end of the world, because as long as you kick it dead, you can use up enough time to close out this game. What they're doing, they are kicking at the post. For Finn Russell, he is 3 from 4 today. The last thing he wants is to hit the post here and have it bounce back, but it's going to be about 40 metres out on the angle for Russell. In fact, maybe a little bit closer, maybe 35. Shot clock still has 27 seconds. Game only has 13 left. On the angle, 8 seconds now remaining on the shot clock. In fact, on the game clock, shot clock still has 12. We've reached the 82nd. And Russell misses away to the side. Make sure he gave it plenty, though. That ball goes dead, and that will be the end of the game. Whether or not Russell intentionally missed, we will never know. But Scotland win this game. 26 points to 23. They were down by, I believe it was 3 points to 17 at one stage in this game. But like we have said the whole way through, the game's not over till it's over. And Scotland managed to fire back. Please hit the post. It was kind of close, to be fair. The Six Nations has just been crazy. And let's hope for Italy tomorrow, says Luca. Italy taking on France. They are the biggest underdog of the round for the Italians. And they'll know it, says Joey. But yeah, missing away to the side. Scotland getting the win by the 3 points in the end. 26-23. A bonus point for both these teams. Scotland get 5 from this game. Wales get 1, which to be fair, they valiantly deserve from the way that they've been able to play here. And now 2 wins and 26 for Wales, says Connor. And hearty applause for the Welsh. They put on an awesome game. And cheers, Hamish, for the commentary. All the best to you, says the fair there. And same to you. And bring on the Satyrs versus Brumbies this Arvo. So we are going to be covering that one on the channel, of course. And then alongside that, France versus Italy tomorrow. Now, all I'm going to say is Wales versus France last week was anticipated to be one-sided, which in the end it was. But it was still thoroughly entertaining up until that stage. So I feel like be sure to pop in for that next one as we get to see what happens. The final game of round 3. Draw unlikely. Needs at least 2 scores, or the game now over. They would have needed the 3 points to be able to sneak it. And thanks for the brilliant commentary, Hamish, says Ian. No worries at all. But yeah, nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. Just like that, it is 7:30 a.m. New Zealand time. We have finished, I believe, about 11 hours of streaming since 7 p.m. last night. But we got through it, and we've still got more coming up. So be sure hit subscribe if you haven't already. But thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all for the next